doors now. What did you do to get to 1,000 doors?
Oh, gosh, one thing at a time. So we started with buying one rental. Well, it would turn at first. Our first rental was actually a home for Zach's mom. She was going through some stuff. We needed to buy her a house essentially, so we bought her a property, got her settled, and then she ended up moving back to his hometown in Malone, New York, way upstate by the Canadian border. And then when she left, we put a tenant in there, and that process that all happened in 2014, basically when I was like 9 months pregnant. And I was really scared. So I think number one was getting over the fear of doing that, of having a rental and having a tenant and managing that whole process. Once we did one, I was like, okay, we can do another. And we built our wholesaling business so that we could stack cash and buy single family rentals. So we did that we did take about a 5-year break from it, building our wholesaling company. We'll talk about the detour. I learned that detour then. Moving away from just buying and holding, we took this big arc of a journey in starting a wholesaling company so that we could buy rentals, but it took us away from buying rentals for 5 years, right? Now I'm grateful for it because now it's a machine, but it was scary in that 5 years, right?
So I see you're 5 and I raised you, right? 9 years, right? I was distracted.
Yeah.
Got into the business to buy rentals.
Yeah.
And for 9 years as a realtor, which had nothing to do
Yeah.
with buying rentals.
Right?
Right? Massive shiny object syndrome. Anyway, go ahead.
But it's so true.
Yeah.
It kind of takes you down this path. So that's why you really have to have that mindset that, okay, this is what I'm doing so that I can get back here. And then you actually have to get back there.
Right.
You know? So we did. So after that, after we built our wholesaling company, now it was great. We started having income that we could depreciate on and buy single family residential. Meanwhile, we're still working at the hospital. And we just kind of kept doing that, right? And then we started getting into multifamily, mostly just because we had friends who were doing it, and really just kind of watching.
Lots of friends doing it.
Yeah, more and more. I was like, what is this? What is this about? So we started just being private money lenders there, like LPs in some deals. Like, this is nice. Wow, this is really good, right? Just some passive income. I get to put some portfolios and some doors in the portfolio and like a long-term hold, but then not just all on me. So we liked it. So we did a couple LP deals, and then with that experience,
LP for those that don't know.
Sorry, limited partner. So GPs, general partners, are the ones who generally qualify for the funding for large multifamily apartment buildings, or do due diligence or put down earnest money. They show liquidity. Essentially, they're guaranteeing the property.
And they have to do the work.
And they have to do all the work. And then LPs kind of come in for that gap funding. So just like when you buy a single family house, if you're doing a traditional mortgage, you get 70 to 90% of the funding from the bank, and then the rest you put down cash deposit. So the GPs get that money from traditional lenders, big banks, and then the LPs fund the difference. So we came in as that for a few deals, and then we started having better relationships and more opportunities came across our table to be the GP.
Yep.
So we're GPs in a handful of deals now too, and that easily pumps up your door count, right?
Yeah.
But now, that's much more appealing to me than single family. So we keep our portfolio of single family homes. We've been holding those. We did sell a couple last year when the market was really good and we weren't sure what was going to happen this year. So we did take some chips off the table, but holding multifamily is how we've really got our passive income goals. And it doesn't require us to get any calls, even from a property manager.
Yeah.
Which is great.
And with you being GP, I've had the opportunity to work with you guys.
Yeah.
Right. So you posted something on Facebook. It's like, hey, I just closed on this apartment complex. I was, DM me for more information.
Yeah.
So I did. He's like, yeah, I already bought this one, but I have another one coming up. And I think it took a while, right? Maybe 4 months or so till we had the next opportunity. But yeah, I got to invest with you guys. And now I get to say, we're partners.
Yeah.
On some, I think it's 129 units in
Mississippi. Yeah.
Yeah. So you want to talk a little bit, you want to talk a little bit about that deal?
Sure. So this deal came to me through our network. So I came in and my husband, of course, came in as GP partners because we put down earnest money on the property. There are, I think 5 GPs, including my husband and I, on that deal, which is awesome. And just quick side note, there are a ton of people out there who say like, oh, you're syndicating, you don't 100% own everything. That's fine with me.
Yeah.
Right. Like I would rather diversify than have, a $12 million asset completely on my back. And could I qualify for that right now? I probably could, but I don't want to. Yeah. I'd rather do a couple deals over here with 4 or 5 of you, 4 or 5 of you here. I don't know. It just feels safer to me. And then so to each their own. But this is the way I like to invest. So that was our piece as we put down the due diligence, the earnest money. And we had another GP partner who put down or demonstrated liquidity, which generally has to be about $1 million. Depends on the deal, but just generally about $1 million that has to be sitting in a bank somewhere. Another GP was the property manager who was going to actually go out and hire. They are not the property manager. They went out and hired the property manager and then does all the walkthroughs and the renovation plan and essentially executes the business plan. And then we had another person who funded due diligence. And then of course somebody who finds the deal.
Yeah.
So, and it depends on the collection of GPs as who's who on those deals. And, we've kind of had different roles in that process, but I'm never the executor of the business plan. Because again, I'm not going to be the horse who takes it over the finish line. This is kind of what I'm comfortable doing. So yeah, that's how I'm part of the GP deal. This deal looked fantastic. The Jackson market, the MSA of Jackson, Mississippi is wonderful. This property is right outside there. I think it was 12.2 million acquisition, 126 units, I think. Doing great. So we're in our first year of the business plan. We're ahead of schedule as far as raising rents and renovating the property. We were able to get some new leases in there. There's a pool on the property that got renovated. So it's going really well.
Yeah. And I talked to my team, right? So they're like, hey, we were talking about, hey, let's record a video about this apartment. They're like, great. So like, what do you know about it? It's like, I don't really know anything. Like, what do you mean? It's like, you invest in this apartment. It's like, yeah, I know, but with Stephanie. Stephanie said she needs $100,000, right, to be an LP.
Yep.
I talked to my wife. It's like, hey, like, do you want to invest in Stephanie? I was like, yeah. Okay, so great. That was really all the due diligence we needed. But after we've done this, right, you've been paying 12%.
Yep.
Right? So the money's coming in every month, and my wife's looking at me like this past week, she's like, hey, why don't we do more of those?
Right? It's kind of nice.
And to which I said to her, if you recall, I've been talking about this for years. You've just dismissed it as risky this whole time.
Yeah.
Right?
It's okay. Sometimes it takes a little bit of time to come around to it, right?
It takes a while. So